Hello and welcome to Buildon Ideas Institute of Designing, and this is Six and Sunny, the principal designer of Buildon Ideas. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to model and render out this image in Blender 2.8. So I'll be using some softwares like NanoCAD, Blender 2.8 and GIMP to create this image. First, I'll be doing the plan and the drawings in NanoCAD, and then I'll be doing all the modeling and rendering in Blender 2.8, and then I'll be doing the post-production, that is the color corrections and steps in GIMP. So let's look at what the plan is and then move forward in this tutorial. If you see the interface of this software, this is NanoCAD 5 and this is a free software. This can be used for CAD drafting, which is very much similar to the other CAD drafting softwares available in the market. So I've created the plan in this software and I'm just opening that plan, and this is the plan which I've created in NanoCAD. You can see the plan is pretty much similar to other CAD softwares workflow, and then you have the CAD drawing in DWG format as well as DXF format. You can open DWG format and save in DWG format, as well as export it as DXF and import as DXF format in NanoCAD. NanoCAD is completely free software. NanoCAD Plus and NanoCAD Pro is not free. It is a paid version, but the base version NanoCAD, which is from Nanosoft, is free of cost and you can use it commercially. This is one software which we use in our workflow for CAD drafting currently. And the other software which I'm using is Blender 2.8. And this is the latest release of Blender Foundation, and this is pretty much useful in architectural visualizations. The previous versions of Blender is not much useful in architectural visualization because of some drawbacks. But the current version, Blender 2.8, is very much useful in architectural visualization. And the tools which they have incorporated in Blender 2.8 is very much useful for that. And for architects, interior designers and builders, if you're interested in adding this NanoCAD as well as Blender in your workflow, it will be pretty much useful for you because it's free software. Blender 2.8 is a free and open source software, and you don't have to pay anything for that. It is commercially useful and you can use it for any commercial purpose. Now, coming to the interface of Blender 2.8, you have all the precision modeling is possible in this, and you can give the dimensions and do the modeling as per your requirements for architectural visualization. So it's very important to have the kind of precision modeling, because if you want to create a building or an interior scene, you have to have proportions, basic proportions, as well as the heights and other dimensions in place. Otherwise, it's very difficult for you to visualize any architectural visualizations. So Blender 2.8 is very helpful in doing all this kind of architectural visualization, and it is pretty similar to other softwares available in the market for doing architectural visualization. And the major thing is, like, this is also having render engine incorporated into this, and there are two render engines. One is Cycles as well as Eevee, and the Cycles is based on ray trace, and Eevee is a real-time render engine. That is the major advantage, one of the major advantages in Blender 2.8, so that we can visualize even the lighting, and it gives the final rendered feel of the visualization even when we are working. So that's not available in other similar softwares which are available in the market. This viewport is a single viewport, and this is the basic layout, the default layout, and it's having a cube in the center, and then you have the camera and the lighting. There's a point light out here, and then this is a single viewport by default. You can customize this viewport by clicking on the plus symbol in the corner of this viewport, and if you just move, click and drag, then you get other viewports like this. So you can customize it as per the requirement. If you want to remove it, just click here and then do it like this. It goes out. So just click here, just click on here and then do it like this, and then once again, this is the single viewport. So customization is very much possible, which is not available in pretty much other softwares which are available in the market today. Now if you can see an outliner which gives you all the groups, the collections in this Blender. We call it collections. In other softwares it's similar to the groups in our other softwares. And this is a property panel. You have all the properties of materials, scenes, the objects, and all the other things. Other additional properties are given in this tab, which is available on the shortcut N. And on the left side you have the toolbars, which is a shortcut is T, and then if you click T you have it, and you can have the move, rotate, and scale and other features out here. Now on the top you can have the menu bar as well as some layouts. These are the different layouts which shows for different purposes like modeling, sculpting, UV editing, texturing, shading, animation, rendering, and compositing. So these layouts are being customized as per the requirements, and then basically in architecture visualization you may be using basically three or four of these customizations, and the main one which we use in art surface modeling is the layout and the modeling. And then for the texturing part you use shading node, shading interface, and then the UV editing for UV mapping. And finally for the rendering you use the rendering layout. Now coming to this layout, we have this basic layout in this, the cube, as well as what do you call the lights and the camera. So I'm going to delete these and then import the drawing from NanoCAD. Now before importing into the NanoCAD, we have to make sure that the drawing which I have here, this is basically drawn in the dimension and the units which we have used is centimeters. So if I click units and then click on enter, you can see that the units been specified out here as centimeters. So this drawing is created in centimeters. Make sure that you have specified the units in the drawing prior to starting the drawing, because otherwise it becomes difficult for you while importing. So click OK and then make sure that you have the drawing in correct dimensions. Now coming to the plan, we have this plan in 2 floors, and then you have the total floor area of 2264 square feet, out of which ground floor is 1256 square feet, first floor area is 978 square feet. The width of this building is 840 centimeters and the height, the length is 1390 centimeters, and you have all the facilities as per the client's requirement. There's a sit out, living, dining, kitchen, a bedroom with attached bathroom and a dressing room in the ground floor, and in the first floor you have a balcony, upper living, 2 bedrooms attached. There is also a spacious stair area which is shown in this plan. Now as per the brief, we are required to give him a contemporary elevation, and then we are going to build a contemporary elevation for this plan. So shall we import this into Blender and start modeling? So I'm clicking save, and then I'm going into Blender and then file import. So I'm importing import. Then when you come to Blender and start importing, you can see this AutoCAD DXF format which is getting imported. But the only thing is, like, when you start Blender, by default this is not available. So what do? You have to find that. Basically when you click on edit preferences, you can see there are a lot of options out here. In the add-ons, Blender actually work on a lot of add-ons, and then we have a lot of add-ons to be added to make Blender function as per our requirements. So for architecture visualization we require certain add-ons like AutoCAD DXF format. So just type DXF. You have this, and then I have already ticked it. If you tick it, then this option is available in this import. So AutoCAD import. Now this dialog box comes in, and then you have to import the file. So while importing, it is important to see that the units which we set out there is pretty much similar to what is in Blender. So when you click here, you have to make sure that this is the unit scale. You can see that the coordinates are assumed to be in meters. So deviation from must be indicated here. So if there is by default Blender imports in meters, so you have to convert this into centimeters. So it is 0.01. So this is a conversion point. So that is 100 centimeters is 1 meter, so we are just converted meters into centimeters, and then we are importing that file. So I'm coming to this tutorials, modern villa, and then plan.dxf. I'm importing that. It is imported, but only thing is like it is not centered. Why this is not centered? So when we come to NanoCAD and see, the file is not centered. This is moved out here. So first thing we have to do is like we have to move this plan to the center of the ground floor and keep it and save it. So once you make the plan in the center of the viewport in NanoCAD, now into volumes, and then I'm going to tutorials, I'm importing the plan. So plan is imported, and what you do is like just select and make sure that I'm just joining everything together, just to make sure that this is one set. And I want to move this into another collection, making sure that it's a new collection, then give it as floor plan, and then I'm just moved it. So we have a better control on the floor plans. Now let's start. Let's save this file into our folder, stating that it is, I've just saved it as one.blend in the folder, and now we can start editing. So when we start modeling, we are in the object mode. We are in the layout. So when we click on the tab, you have the edit mode active. So I just have to start with a plane, or when you start modeling, we can either start with a plane. Just click on this, go to the edit mode, and then delete all these vertices, and then what you have left is just this vertex, and you make sure that this snap is on, and then the vertex is selected in that. So you can just G is the shortcut to move this move around the objects in the viewport. So I'll move the vertex out here, then click E to give the extrude. So click E, and then you have the snap button activated so that it snaps to the vertices. Now click E, snap, E, snap, E, snap, E, snap, E, snap. Now you have all the vertices in place. Now what you do is like click on 3 to go to the face mode, and then click A and F. So that what you have right now is the activated face, so that you have all the face been selected right now. I'll just click on the shortcut mode on, so that you get a better idea on what I'm clicking. Okay, so now you just have a face out here, and all the vertices are in place. Now what you do is like click on this face, and then give I for insert, and then just move and click 20 in the numpad, and then you have the 20 wall thickness. Just click on this and delete the face. Now you have the wall thickness in the place, and then what you do is like click on A to select all, and then click on E, and then I'm giving -300 as the value. This is the height of the building of one floor, and then I'm repeating the same by clicking on the tab mode to go to the object mode, and then I'm giving another plane. I'm just moving it this side, and I'm going to the edit mode. I'm just clicking on 1, and then I'm just deleting all the other vertices except for the 1, and then I'm just moving it to here. So you can see there are 2 vertices in the vision, but this is the origin point and this is the vertex which we have to work on. I've positioned it in one corner, and then I'm just giving the extrude button E, and then I'm just snapping it to the vertices available. Just do the extrude, and then you can see that when I did this, when I put the last vertex near the first vertex, it get automatically weld out here. This is possible only if you have this auto merge ticked. This is not ticked by default. When we tick it, it is in this context menu, and then it has been merged automatically. Now what I do is like I click on A to select all the vertices. I clicked F to fill it, and then I'm going to the 3, click on 3 to select the face, and then I for insert, and then I'm giving 20 the value, and then I'm deleting this face, and then I'm selecting by clicking A and then extrude -300. So we have 2 walls been set. Now what I'm going to do is, like, I'm just hiding all these 2 walls by clicking on H. It hides, and then we start with the windows. So we have to remove, create some holes for the windows. So how do we do that? So what we do is, like, we again start adding some planes out here, and then just move it to the place, and then for the item, if you come here, you can make it as 150, and then and then this is also 150. Okay, when we click on the tab, what happened is, like, I just went into the edit mode. So now it's in the edit mode. Now we just select, we just go to the object mode and just click on this, and then just click G to grab it, and again G, Y to move it in the Y direction. I kept it there. Now I'm going to move I'm clicking Shift D to duplicate it, and then I'm just moving G, and in X direction I'm just moving it by clicking on the control, so that we can have a control on that. Again Shift D, and then I'm just moving, and I'm just G, Y to get it in position. Likewise, I'm just placing all the windows in the position. Now all the windows and the doors are in place. Just have to extrude it. So I'm just clicking all the windows, selecting all the windows, assuming that all these windows are going to be 150 in size, height. So all the windows are selected, and then I'm just clicking on tab. So it's in this it's possible to do multiple editing, like multiple objects can be selected at a time, and then do the editing. And then we do the extrude by clicking on E, and then we give 150. So we know all these are 150 now, and then click on the tab, and then just G, set, and then 60. You have all the windows positioned at the 60 height, so that it positions in the lintel level. Okay, so all the windows and doors are in place. So what you will do next is just unhide what has been hidden. So I just click on Alt H in the object mode. I click on Alt H to unhide everything. Now you have to do a Boolean. So to do the Boolean, what I'm going to do is, like, I'm just hiding this floor plan right now, because we don't require that anymore. I'll just select it like this. Okay, so that's joined together, and I'm joining these as well. Okay, so all that is also selected, and Control J. So now all the windows on the ground floor, windows and doors on the ground floor and the first floor have been joined together. So now what you do is, like, select the ground floor wall, and then go to the modifier tab, and then click on the Boolean. Click on the Boolean, and then select with this selector, object selector, click on this, and then select. It's been Boolean. Now click on apply, you apply the Boolean. Delete this, it's in place. Similarly, you do this for the first floor also. Add a modifier, Boolean, and then pick the joined windows and doors, and then give apply, and then remove this. And click on this, grab it to the position, then extrude. I'm just leaving the sit out area separately, because I have to give a separate detailing out there. Now click on A, F, and then extrude to 45. Okay. So we have the base ready. Now what is required is base for this sit out. That also should be ready. We again bring in one add mesh plane and then grab it to this position, tab, and this time what I'm doing is like I just grab this into position, and here I'm just grabbing into this position, and then in the 3 I'm just selecting this and extrude to -45. So that's the base. Again here also we need the same thing, clicking on this edge by clicking on 2 and then G in the Y direction. I'm just moving it to make it as a slope. Okay, now what we do is like we need a beam out here as well as here. So what we do is like again I'm just going to create a plane and then I'm just grabbing it to this position, and then clicking on the tab I'm just selecting as grabbing it to this position, selecting this, grab, and then this position also just grab, and you have it. Just move it and then extrude this face to here, and then click on here, extrude again, extrude, select here, extrude. So you have this 3 sides. Now just select 3 and then click on A and extrude to 90. So you have this in position, and now you have to move this G Z direction and it should be going to 210. Similarly we have to have this as well, so that is in position. Now Alt H is ready. Now I want to have one more similar kind of beam out here. I'll just take a copy of that and just move it. So that's ready. It's all the same dimension, so I'm just using that. Now what I have to do is like I have to position this on top of this. Just move it on the top first, and then just click on G and then just position it. It's a little tricky in Blender 2.8 because it just grabs and snaps in the first nearest position, and if you want to snap this one out here, it was difficult. I'll just show you. If I want to grab this and position it here, it's not possible. So that's why I did it the other way. I just went to the back side and did the snap. So this is it, and now your structure is ready. So once the structure is ready, now you have to have some designs and models and the windows in place. So I'll do one window and then I'll just place all the other windows, and then I'll just move forward. I'll just select this and shift H to hide the rest of it, and then I'm just going to add a window out here. So I'll just add a plane, and then just change the dimensions of that to 150, and then just grab it to the position, rotate in the X direction 90, and then just grab it to the position. Now click on tab to go to the edit mode, go to 3 and then select insert 6 centimeters. You can see that 6 centimeters here. Now click on P to separate this plane from the others, and then I just click on this and then A, and then click on this and then click on 6 centimeters. Now I just want to make sure that there's a sliding window, so just have to take this edge. For that I just click 2 and then G in the X direction. I just keep it in the center, almost in the center, and then what you do is like In the edit mode, go to 3 and then click insert and then click say 7 centimeters, and then just again P to make it a glass, and then just select this, edit A, and then extrude to around 2 centimeters. Now select this, just a slight extrusion is required just to make it a thickness, and then select this and this, and then shift D, unbiased to doors. Just want to make sure that go to the X-ray mode and into the vertex mode, and then select these, just grab it and keep it in the center of this. Why? Because there should not be any kind of, just move it like this, and then make sure that it is one behind the other. Okay, so similarly you do all the windows and the doors, and then keep it is ready. So this is how the windows and doors are made, and then you have to queue all the materials. I'll queue the materials all together. I'm going to have 2 fins out here and here. This will be a normal pillar, and these 2 will be having normal pillars. And then let's see how the design moves forward. Here also I'm going to have some wooden cladding on this portion, and then glass handrails. So let's go forward. Before that, I just finish off the parapet part of it. So I'll just do the parapet. For that, I'll just select this, and then shift set. Most of it has been hidden, and then I just use something else called single vertex. Single vertex is available only if you add on an extra mesh to this edit preferences, and then you just here you have to type extra. So you have these 2 options. In this add mesh extra objects, you have this single vertex available. So all these things which I did can be done using this add mesh single vertex instead of giving that plane. So that's confusing a little bit, that's why I did a plane. And then you have this, and then you just have to do the extrusions. So it is done. You just have to click on A, F, and then just insert. Insert will be say 15 centimeters. Just select 3 and then this face and delete it. Faces, and then select once again A, and then extrude to 90. Minus 90. Now it is, the parapet is ready. Alt H gives the rest of it. Now you have to have a fin out here, and then for that I'm just adding add mesh single vertex. Add single vertex, just grab it here and click 1, you have it, and then extrude, 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 and then just click on 3, A and F, and then extrude. You have the fin ready, the pillar ready, but I just wanted to make it as a fin, so I'm just I just grab outside, select this, grab it to Y direction 60 centimeters, so it should be minus 60 as it is in this direction, and then I'm taking it down. I'm just moving it, grab in Z direction minus 45, and then I just want to take this fin to like this, so I just select this and grab it to this position, grab it and set position to this so that it is snapping. Now extrude, you have a segment here, I'm just giving 30, and then one more extrude 60, and then I'm just selecting this face and then extrude. So you can either go in this way and then snap it here. So you have it. Okay, then you have to have a copy of this onto this position. Just shift D and then X direction and then snap it. You have it. And then I'm just going to the edit mode and I'm just moving this to G and in the Y direction and snapping it here. So it is there. So you can see there's a fin out there. There are two fins, and then I'm giving this one to be a normal pillar. So again I'm going to add object mode, mesh, single vertex, add single vertex, grab it to this position, click 1, E, 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 and then A, F, and then extrude. That's it. I'm just giving a break in between. Now Control R, and then I'm just positioning it in this position, and then I'm clicking right click and then bevel adjust. I'm just giving like this, and I just want to extrude this face, so I'm just using this extrusion instead of this. I'm taking this and just moving outside like that. Okay, you see this properties out here, offset even, so that all this, if you can see, I'm just clicking a dot to move it like this to highlight this position. It is on the numpad, the dot. So if it's not even, it's having some other dimension, and you have to give offset even to have all the sides equal. I don't want this much, I just want only 3 centimeters. That's it. Now what I do is just go to grab this and just move it in the Y direction as -60. You have the fin ready. Now select this face and then extrude to this position, 20 centimeters, and then one more extrude to this position, -60, and then one more extrude. Yes, now the fin is ready. Okay, now I'll go with the sunshades. I'll keep all the sunshades ready. Now I'm giving some pergolas out here, so you can see that there should be some method to do the pergolas. There are two methods. One is an array method, one is a repeat mode method. I'm going for the array method in this tutorial. So I'll just keep one plane out here. Okay, maybe a cube, and then I'm just dragging it here. Then just adjust the item dimension to say 20 centimeters, and then this can be 15, and this can be 20. 20. Just grab it. Okay. Now I need some pergolas from here to here, and that can be adjusted in the array modifier. Just go to there and click on array, and then you have the position like this. So you'll just have five units apart, or maybe 3 units apart, and then you have the numbers. Okay, so you have the pergolas ready. So once you do this, if you have the array active, just see this is one single item. If you want to increase the depth of this, you increase 1, and then everything goes along with that. See, when you go to the edit mode, only this gets selected. You can't select any other, just select only this portion, and then if you just grab this in one direction, everything else comes along with that. That's how the array is. And then our house is getting, our villa is getting shape. Now I need some more sunshades. I'll have some more sunshades out here. What I think is for this one, I'll have a fin kind of a thing. So what I'll do is like I'll just add a single vertex once again, add a single vertex, go to 1 and here, just like this. Now I have all these. Now I just take the edges and then give an extrude in y direction -60. Now this is just a plane. I just want to have a thickness for this. What I do is I just add a solidify modifier and then outside even thickness. This will be 20 centimeters, -20 centimeters. Okay. Just grab it in the Z direction, and then I don't want this to stay here. Move this upwards till here. G, Z, I just move it here. Okay. Now when I do Alt D, you have an instance in the X direction, and then if you want to repeat this, just have to Shift R, so that you have instances of these things out here. Fine, it looks nice. Now just have to finish it off. I'm just giving 4 holes inside here. I'll just add to bring this cursor, 3D cursor here. What you do is like Shift right click, it comes here. Then if you add a plane, it comes in this position. So now it's quite easy. Like you just have to give 25 and 25, and then just R, and then in X direction 90, you have it here. And then what you do is like I'm just peeping in a hole inside. Just go to the edit mode and the 3, and then extrude, and then just grab it inside. Again I'm going to do Shift D because I have to Boolean this, and then I'm moving in X direction. I just placed it, and then I'm going to do Shift R. I'm going to have 4 holes just in this direction, and then I'm going to make it a hole. Yeah. Now I'm going to Boolean this from this. So if you want a Boolean, 2 times 1 is for this. It's Boolean. Now if you want to do a Boolean here, what you do is like create a copy of this, remove that, and then again apply and apply, and remove these. Now we'll give one border also on top of it, and that's the modeling part, and then we'll finish off the landscape as well, and then we'll continue with the textures. So select this, go to the edit mode, and then just select the top portion of it, and then go to give an extrude, say 10 centimeters, and then again select all these faces outside, and then use this extrude, click here and to the outside, and then offset T1 just 10 centimeters. So the modeling of the villa is almost over. Now we'll do slide landscaping as well, and then complete the project by giving the materials. So I'll do a small landscaping for this. Before that I have to give the steps for this. So how do we do the steps? Now I'll just add a plane, and then I'll just grab it here. I'll just select this face and extrude it to 15 centimeters, and then Control R, and then in this direction I'll just click and give escape, and then this face should be selected, and then again one more extrude in 15 centimeters. Now you just have to have the nosing, this one and this one, and I'll just click Ctrl J to make it one piece, and then in the edit mode I'll just select the top portion, and I'll just do an extrude of 3 centimeters, and then I just need only this portion and this portion and this portion to extrude 3 centimeters on the sides as well. So I'm doing it in a different way in this, but give extrude again 3 centimeters. Now I'll just give a landscaping. I'll just give a fencing on this side, and then give some landscaping, grass and trees. So I'll just add a cube, and then I'll just drag it here, GX minus 45, and then it should be 20, grab it here, extrude by 20, and then again extrude maybe up to here. Then I'm going to give grass out here as well as here, and then the paving tile out here. So we are just placing a plane out here, and then I just grab it and then grab it to this position. Now it's correct. Now I just want to have a curve out here. What do? Take this vertex and then right click, bevel vertex, okay, and then you have it like this. You increase the number of vertices around 9. This is how it is, and then you do an extrude 3 face, and then extrude to 10 centimeters. Then what you do is like you will just insert it into say 10 centimeters. Once again extrude it to minus 7 centimeters. So you have it. Give Shift D, and then you want to mirror it. So Control M gives the mirror, and then just in X direction you have it. Now there's something missing. We don't have a camera. We have to have a camera in position just like this. I want to see this and something like this. So what I do is I just add a camera. Camera is in position in the viewport, but it is not in position. Just have to position it in the right way, almost like this, and then just click Ctrl Alt 0, and then you have it in position. That's how it is done. And then what you do is like when you go to the view, you have to lock the camera and then adjust the view as required. So this has to be something like this. Just click on Control and drag the mouse just like that, and then you have it. Okay, now what I'll do is like I'll just fill in the top portion, and then we'll just finish it off. So I'll just add the glass also, glass handle as well, and then we'll just complete the modeling part. For that, what I do is like I'll just add a plane, and then I'll just grab it to here, just move it slightly in my direction. So I have it, and grab it to direction, and then what I do is like Control R, divide, and I put escape, and then right click, and then say bevel edges. How much should be the bevel? Now this should be 1, and this could be 0.3 or 0.5. Okay, now what I do is like I just select all these faces, and Control I gives an invert, and then I delete the face, delete faces, so there's a gap in between. Now extrude, say 1 centimeter. Now I have the glass ready. I just have to have one line more. On top of this I have to have a steel rod. So I just take one of these edges, and then I duplicate in C direction, hit P, and then I separate it. Move this vertex till this end, G, and in X direction I just snap it, and then I convert it. I just convert this into a curve from the mesh. Now you have the curve properties out here, and in this what you do is just move it, slide down. That's it. Let's do the lighting for this. So I'm just going to do an exterior daylighting. For that I'm just going to add a light. Just go to the lights, and then sun. We'll give a sun, and then we'll just move it to a position, and then rotate it. Even if it is in this position or this position, just have to see the angle in which the sunlight is falling. The rest of it will be taken care of by the sun. Now I'm just shifting from the viewport shading mode into the the look dev mode, which will give you some output of texturing. So I'm just having a sunlight, and then into the rendering mode you can see the shadows falling. So when you see this, you can really understand how it works in this. So I'm just going to increase the shadow, the strength of the sun to 10. Gives a nice daylight view. I'm just going to add an HDRI into this. I'm just shifting into the shading workspace, and then I'm just going into shifting from object mode to the world mode, and then Control Shift A, and then just add environment texture. And then what you do is like open, and then find an HDRI. So I'm going to go kind of an evening sky, open, and then I'm going to link this to background color. Now if you go to the render mode, you can see what is going to happen. It gives a real-time rendering. Now we are in if I see, this is a cycles render mode. Render engine I've selected as cycles. Okay, now it's rendered. So the HDRI is on. So first I'll give the glass material, and then I'll go into the look dev mode, and then give the materials, and then later on come into that. So I'll just give glass material. For that I'll just go to glass BSDF, and then lower the roughness, select this, and then maybe I'll give a gloss BSDF. Okay, and the roughness to be smooth. Okay, now I've given a steel material as well as the glass material. Okay, in the render mode, I'll just give some changes. I'll just make it as 128, and then rest of it. That maximum light paths, maximum bounces can be up to 2, diffuse, glossy, 4, and rest of it maybe like that. Just leave it like that. And then if you come to the caustics, just remove this reflective and refractive caustics, and because that doesn't really work on this. So after that, you just come to the dimensions, and then you can just, I'm just going to save it as a JPG, and then the quality has to be 100. And the image, if you come down, you have to tick this denoising so that it doesn't have any noise. Let's finish off the other materials and then come back. So what I'll do is, like, I'll just select one and then give a material and then make it fully white. And to assign the same material to other materials, other objects, just select all materials which need to be white, which need to be similar to the one which I have selected, and not this one. Okay, and just click on the last one which is assigned as the material which we need. Select that, Control L, and then just give materials. So all that is selected is shifted into that material. So that is done. Now I'll just select this also, and this one, and this one as well, and then select this, Control L, and then materials. That also has become white. Select this, and again this, Control L, and then materials. I just want all these as a white material, and then we'll just go forward. Now I'll just give a gray material for this one. I'll just make it a gray, and I'll apply for this one, and maybe this one, and this one, and Control L and make it materials. Now I don't want any specular for this, and the roughness can be full. So in this case also speculars, roughness. Okay. Now coming to the wooden material, I'll just select that, and then I'm going to assign a material. So I'll just go to the shading mode and then convert this, change from this to the object mode, and then just have to open a material. I'll just go to the textures collection, and I'll just go to the wood materials. Then I'll just select one of those materials which is similar to a paneling. So I'll just select this, and I'll just drag it in, and then we just connect the color to the base color. You have the wood material applied. I'm just going to make this look there. So this is the material, and then what I'll do is, like, I'll just make this part, all these, select all these, and I'll go to UV editing, set, and then I'll just make it into a look tab. Okay, the look tab, and then I've selected all these faces, and I'm just going to give a smart UV projection, smart UV project, and give OK. You have all these segments been selected. You can see it updated out here, and just have to select all these and then just drag. So you get this, and then you have all these patches. To avoid that, you just have to scale it in X direction. Just scale it in X direction so that you can avoid those patches. Okay, so now you have it. I'll just create a copy of this, copy here, and then I'll just open with GIMP. Here's where the role of GIMP comes in. You can create. You just have to do a desaturate, and then you go to some brightness, exposure. Basically this becomes a bump, so I'll just do some levels as well. So you have a nice little bump right here. Okay, I'll save this as export, and then I'll just make it as bump. Export. Now if you go to Blender and then go to the shading mode, and then what you do is like just copy Shift D, and then you have Shift A, you go to vector bump, and then just go into this, and then we'll just take it like this, drag it into that, and give open. Now it is that you applied it to the height, and then you just apply this in the normal. You see the bump, reduce the strength a little bit, and the specular, and give the roughness to the highest, somewhat. You can see the bump of that. Okay, now repeat the same on this as well. I'll just select that and select this and Control L, and then just materials. You have the same material out here. Now coming to Windows, let's see what can be done on the Windows. So I'll just select that and I'll go to the shading mode again. We have not applied any materials, so what we do is like go to materials and then apply new. So you have this, and then what you do is like go to materials once again, apply some wood on that. Okay, I'm going to use this wood. I'm just dragging it, and then I just drag it to the base color. You have to use the specular, and then slightly increase the roughness. Go to the edit mode and select this part, and then again you just give a smart UV project, give OK, and then you have all these selected, and then go ahead, just give a scale slightly up to this, just move it and scale in X. That's it. So I just give UV smart UV project. You should have all those coming in. Yeah. So just scale it a bit, move it further, and scale in X direction. Now it looks better. Similar thing has to be done with this and this. So just select all that, and then this one, and then Control L, and then materials. Now just select these. Okay, and just select only this and select these. Right click, UV smart project. Okay, and then select all that, scale it, grab it, scale in X. Okay, now these two can be glass, so I just selected those two, and then click this, and then Control L, and the materials. Fine, you have all the shutters and the glass material. So just select this and then right click UV Smart UV project once again. Click OK and it's here. You just have to select it and scale it to get that, and scale in X direction. Do that. Yeah. So almost all the materials are done. I'll just give one material, reflection material out here and here also, and then the landscape. I'll just select this material, this object, and then I'll give a reflective material. Okay, and then I'll just click here and then go to the shading and then go to D and then textures. We have tiles in this. I have some tiles collection, so I'll just give a simple one. Okay, I'll give this rectified tile, and then I'll just the base color, roughness to be reduced, and you can see there is some reflection happening. Just select all these faces, right click Smart UV project, click OK, and then you have just do something like this, and then it's ready. Select this again, come to this, give a new material, shading, and then you just select one of, and maybe I'll select this one, and then just add it into the base color, spec color. I don't want much, just give some roughness, and then again go to UV map, select the main faces, right click Smart UV project, gives the smart way. See, I just have to align it properly. Fine. So that's ready. Now I've given almost all the materials which is required for the house. I have to give the interiors, but before that I'll just give some materials to the landscape. So I'm going to give this one a slightly gray color, and then the spec color goes down, roughness goes up. And in this I'm going to give a grass material, which is, for the time being, I'm just using a material. Okay, and then I'm just going to apply this grass here. I'm closing this, and then I'm just applying the base color. I select this, G, set to, okay, now it's on top. Now what I do is, like, I select this, edit, and in this I just give a Smart UV project, okay, and coming to UV map, I just select and scale it so that it looks like a real grass. Okay, now it's almost done. Just select this and then give one more material, go to shading, paving tiles, and then select some paving tile. Okay, I'll just select this one. It's having a bump also, so I'll just select that also, this, and then I apply it in the base color. I'll keep it here, Shift A, vector, bump, and then color to the height, strength slightly less to the normal. Okay, vector down, roughness up. Now come to the UV map, just select this face, right click Smart UV project, and then select all. Okay, filter, just make it look neat. Scale X. Fine. That's how it is now. You can see the rendered preview of this, and then later on we will do a render after placing the landscape trees and what do you call the plants and all that stuff. It takes a while, but once it is, yes, so this is how it is. Now if you see this sky and this value is not matching, I'll just lower it slightly, and then I'll just see, we'll use nodes, and then if you go to the shading and to the world, you can see the node, and then you just shift A, and then you have something called black body, and then you have the temperature. Can you see it? Yeah, just put this to the 500. We'll just see if it's possible to see. So it's slightly matching now. You can see that it is having slight evening mode. Okay, so to I think it's fine. Okay, now I'll just add some trees into this, and then I'm going to use append as well as link to use the landscaping. We have already given the material. I would like to give some realistic grass into this, so I'll just use some mesh. So just have to append. When you're using Blender files, we just either use link or append, and some other files like AutoCAD drawing or something like that, we use import and export. So append, and then I'm just going to select one of the grass material, grass mesh I have created in Blender, grass 2, and then go to the collection of that, and then select the grass, and then give append from library. You have that here. And if you want to see that this is the grass, and then what I'm going to do is like I'm going to create a particle system. So select this, and then what you do is go to the particle system, give a plus symbol. This brings in a hair. I'm going to make it a hair material, and then I'm just going to reduce it to 1 centimeter so that it gives a realistic way of seeing it. Now what I'm going to do is like go to the advanced mode, and then go to the render and select instead of the path, I'm just going to collection, and in the collection just select grass 2. Does not come out, so just give 10 centimeters. You can see some slight grasses coming out, peeping out. Yeah, just give some 50 for the time being. You can see it very well. Make it 100. Yeah, so this is the grass. Now go to the rotation, and then click rotation, global X. Yeah, it stands up, and then just make what do you call the children, find the children in that, make it interpolated, so you can see it very well. The grass is very much inside, and what you have to do is like reduce the number from 1000 to say 500. What you see here is only 10% of what is going to actually come out. So this is more than enough to see, and then what to do is like finish it up. So this is ready, and I'll add some plants and trees into this, so that I'll be linking the trees into this. So I'm linking the trees and plants, trees and plants. Okay, trees centered, and from that you have the collection. I'm selecting tree 11 and then link from library. It's going to come out, but only issue is it is missing the materials. I'll just rectify it. But before that, let me place all the trees required. I'll just copy Alt D, and then I'll just Y direction, and the X direction. Okay. I'll append another guy, maybe all data missing. Wow. So that is found out, and now it's ready. What to do was like go to the camera view, just have to use some of this. Okay, so the layout is done. You have the grass as well. Now just have to put some interiors, and then we'll finish it off rendering. So in order to put some interior into this, I have to just bring in some what do you call it? Some planes, and then just grab it down just like that, and then give a material to it. Just add a material. I'll put an emission shader out here and put the color into this. So I have a strength for the emission. Take F12 to render it, and then you have the render happening. Let's wait for the render. I'll just make the strength to 0.5, and then I'll have a node detector on top of this and see if I have to rotate by say 40. So this is the real-time render in Eevee. You can see when I shifted from cycles to Eevee, this is a lot more smoother, and then you can work on it. If you want to increase the scale of it just slightly, you just can do that. Maybe -5 or maybe 5. Yeah, I think that will be fine. I'll just slightly increase the value of this one to 3600 by 2400, and okay, I'll just go to cycles and then make this 256, and that's what is required. So it's ready for the final output, and then we'll have a final render ready. So we'll render it in a time and then just see how it is. In the final output, I have taken a resolution of 3600 pixels by 2400 pixels, which is the print ratio of an A3 size paper. So as for a printing situation, I've taken this resolution, and then I've taken the output. So let's see the render output and then save it, and let's finalize it in this tutorial. So let the render happen. By that time, let's see what all are the scope of Blender 2.8. Blender 2.8 helps us to do all the kind of architectural visualization, including exterior and interior renders, and also it helps us to do some walkthrough animations. Even though it takes some time in walkthrough animations, it is possible in Blender. But when you consider all the other rendering softwares or 3D designing softwares, Blender has gone a long way, and it is almost among the number one in the professional standards which can be used for architectural visualization. So let's see that this tutorial will help you, and just find out what is possible in your workflow, and then try to incorporate this tutorial as well as Blender 2.8 in your workflow. Also, NanoCAD is one of the free softwares which can be used instead of other CAD softwares, which is free of cost. So Blender 2.8 and NanoCAD, these two are the softwares which can be used free of cost in it. And Blender is an open source software, as well as it is under the GPL license, that is general public license, and you don't have to pay anything for that, and it is completely free of cost. Now the software which we use as GIMP, which is also under GPL license, and it is free of cost, and it can be used for photo corrections, correcting the exposures and color management. So that can be also used in your workflow instead of some paid softwares. So this will largely improve your profit as well, because you don't have to pay heavy amounts for the softwares, and you can use all these free softwares to get professional level output for your architectural visualizations. Now coming to the post-production part of this image, let's have a look at how we can do some improvements on the image which we have rendered out just now. So this is the basic output which we have got. So I think there is some lack of exposure in that. Just increased slightly. If you give the black level slightly, it gives little more improvements. So this is basically some kind of, if you go to the curves also, we can increase the top part and give some depth to it. That also can be done. So this is the software which can be used for color corrections and improvements, image improvements. So we use in Buildon Ideas, we use this GIMP software, which is also a free open source software that can be used for color corrections. It is pretty similar to the kind of image editing softwares which is available in the market today. So I'm just exporting it as a JPG itself. You can see there are two images in this right now. One is the color corrected one and the other one is the rendered image. So this was slightly down and the lighting was slightly less, and then we have improved it. There was quite an improvement on the image after doing the color correction. So use this tutorial. Hope this tutorial was very helpful for you. Try to use this. Try to understand how I've used different things in this and then utilize it in your projects as well. All the best.